Hi guys, welcome back to my study vlog. So today I want to share with you guys my daily language study routine. Ever since the lockdown, I haven't been able to go to school or attend any Spanish classes. In order to make some progress during the lockdown, I've created this daily language study routine and I've been refining it along the way because I'm trying to find what is the best way for me to study at home. And today I want to share with you guys that daily routine of mine as well as some language study tips, and hopefully I can motivate you to study whatever you're studying at home. So normally after getting up in the morning, I'll put on some Spanish YouTube videos. I can always pick up some words or expressions. It also helps me immerse myself in this language environment since the early morning and to tell my brain that hey, you're in Spain, you're studying Spanish. So my official study starts after breakfast. I like to do this first thing in the morning because I think this is my top priority. So the first part is to watch online Spanish teaching videos, which normally lasts from half hour to 1 hour depending on what I'm learning. There are 2 YouTube channels that I watch most often. So this is one of the YouTube channels that I watch a lot. She has videos about grammar, vocabulary, colloquial expressions. This is another channel that I really enjoy watching during the first hour of study. It's called Spanish with Mutant. He has a lot of videos teaching you expressions in Spanish, and then of course the Spanish grammar. And he also has content about the daily exam. Subjuntivo's my best friend, subjunctive. And then, this part I like a lot. So he teaches different meanings and expressions of some of the most common Spanish verbs. And I always have my notebook with me in this part, taking notes. If I learn grammar and I wanna just do more exercise, I will use my Spanish grammar book. I don't like to only use this book because it's kind of boring. So I only use this book as a complimentary reading and an exercise book. And I feel like doing this part first helps to turn on a study mode and to sort of trick my brain into thinking, okay, you're sitting in the classroom now and you have to sit through this whole, let's say 2-hour study session before you want to do something else. The second part of the study is to find an article or a blog in Spanish online. It's very important that you find something that suits your language level because you don't want to frustrate yourself before you can even finish the blog. For example, this is a random article that showed up when I searched, is coffee good for health? Because I love drinking coffee and I always want to learn more about it. I like to search for stuff that actually interests me. And this one says, is coffee beneficial or harmful for health? Normally, I would read through the whole thing first, and then I will read it out loud, paragraph after paragraph. For me, I really like this exercise because it's like a one-stone, 2 to 3 birds exercise. You got everything, the whole package. First of all, you get to practice reading, just to browse the article without really checking the words, and to sort of just train your brain into thinking in Spanish and to familiarize yourself, more importantly, with the language. You have to expose yourself as much as possible. And secondly, I am practicing my speaking when I read out loud the same paragraph for several times. For the first time, I really sound like shit. But then after 3 or 4 times of practicing, I feel like I can read it a lot more fluently and a lot more naturally. And I normally read it until I internalize the information. When I read it for the last time, I'm more like giving a speech or telling a story. You can add some gestures, some signs, and pretend that there are audience in front of you. And thirdly, this exercise really helps to increase your vocabulary effortlessly because the best way to memorize a word is to keep repeating it. And by reading the same paragraph, you are not only repeating it, you're also repeating how this word is used. Next time when you talk, they'll just like pop out of nowhere because it's left an impression in your brain. And lastly, sometimes I would do paraphrasing. For example, the coffee one. It talks about the benefits of coffee and the danger of drinking too much coffee. So I would try to use my own words as much as possible to paraphrase, okay, so what are the benefits? I wouldn't really force myself to memorize all the information. I would glance at the article every once in a while just to make sure that I'm using the right words. There are also days in which I just find a random YouTube video. For example, this one is The Secret Formula of Motivation. and I'll turn on the subtitles while I watch the video. I'll watch it several times until I get all the words. I'll write down words and expressions that I don't know. Sometimes the first time I watch it without the subtitles, and then the second time with the subtitles. So this part incorporates listening comprehension as well. This is just a nice break from reading articles all the time, because it can be really boring if you are just repeating the same thing or the same routine day after day. So I'm trying to spice things up a little bit by doing different exercises. I normally just follow my mood of the day and do whatever I feel like doing, and that's my first more intensive studying session. Then comes the more relaxing part. I like to do this part after lunch. I'll just stand there by the window, so just go through my flashcards. I put English on one side and I put Spanish on the other side. I got this word diving suit / space suit called escafandra. I think it took me 5 days at least to finally be able to say this word correctly. So if you cannot recall how to say this word, it's okay, just flip over. As time goes by, you'll actually remember it, even if you flip over for the first 3 to 4 days. And maybe from the 5th or the 6th day, you are able to recall this word already. It is very helpful that you just write down a simple sentence below the words, because it really shows you how to use the word. Tengo ganas de abofetear. I feel like slapping him, like something that I can really use. So the last part of the study of the day, I focus more on reading. But of course, besides this conscious study part, I also do some unconscious study, like watching news on TV, which really helps, and browse Spanish news on the app. Most of the times, I only just browse through these titles. If some of the news really got my interest, I will open the news to read it. But reading news is actually a very good way to pick up the words in trend. Before, I never knew how to say quarantine in Spanish, but now cuarentena is just something that would naturally come up. And then of course, it's very important that you watch some Spanish TV shows or Spanish movies. And I will also have my blank flashcards next to me when I watch the show. With language study, I think the most important thing is that you do it every day and you repeat the same thing again and again until it becomes more like a natural reflection than a conscious sentence structuring process. It's a very slow process, but I do find myself being able to pick up more words from the news, and then my vocabulary is also enlarging. Every progress counts. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and feel more motivated and keep encouraging yourself on the way of language study. One day you are gonna just be there. Okay, so that's it for today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!